Hey guys, we are back, and today we are going to be going into the Psychic Cataclysm. We're going to be doing some gameplay in there, checking it out, see how well we can do in that. But before we jump into that, a couple things. One, I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I appreciate you guys hanging out and spending some time with me. Two, I ran across some offers that are in the store. So from the game, if you jump over here to offers and jump into the store, if you scroll all the way down to almost the bottom, here we are. They released 10 different offers for 10 power cores. So you've got some training modules, a bunch of different orbs in here, some gold orbs, all sorts of stuff in here. So if you guys weren't aware of that, this is celebrating Johnny's achievement for finishing first in Professor X. So a big congratulations to Johnny on doing that. And obviously this is a good opportunity for all you guys to grab some materials and some orbs in here for pretty cheap. So I wanted to make you guys aware of that in case you had not come across that, because it was hidden down there at the bottom. So without further ado, we're going to jump in here to Psychic Cataclysm. And I've already went in here and selected everything that we've got. I went through a trial run earlier at work in my spare time when I didn't have any customers. So just to kind of get a feel for this, so I wasn't stumbling through everything in the video today. So here's what we're doing. We are essentially selecting every single mod. So with the exception of one. On spawn, Professor Xavier's dodge chance is set to 100%. On spawn, Professor X gains the following traits. All of those. I'm not going to read all that stuff. You guys can take a look at that. Bloody Nose. When an enemy uses their basic attack, they also apply 1 bleed. A Dream of Krakoa. Let's go with that. On spawn, all mutants gain the X-Men trait. Birds of a Feather. On spawn, Val gains the Phoenix Force trait, and Omega Red Phoenix and Dark Phoenix gain the Bifrost trait. Restricted Healing. When an enemy uses their special ability, they apply Heal Block. Night Stalker characters gain plus 150 damage, 110 speed, and minus 50% armor. Minion Roulette. On spawn, enemy minions max health is reduced by 99% and damage is increased by 2,000%. You're going to see they've got a couple sections where that could be a very big deal if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. I unselected that. My bad. Blinding Ultimates. When an enemy uses their ultimate ability, they apply Blind for 1 turn to the primary target. On spawn, Liberty characters gain 200% damage. All Cosmic Crucible abilities are going to be active. Let's see. Substantially increase the max health, speed, damage, armor, resistance, and focus of Cable, Forge, Iceman, Madeline Pryor, Magneto, Jean Grey Phoenix, and Dark Phoenix, Storm, Emma Frost, and Emma Frost X-Men. And then we have Brawler characteristics gain additional critical hit damage, Blaster critical hit chance, and then as far beyond them as they are beyond you. On spawn, an enemy Apocalypse gains charged and will act first. The one thing that we are not activating is on spawn, archenemy enemies gain 500% max health, 20% speed bar, and become immune to stun, ability, block, exhausted, exposed, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's the reason why we are not activating that. Essentially, Gear 20 is required for this run. We do not have a big enough roster to be able to go in and sack multiple different rooms, because you'll see as we progress, the arch enemies end up being the most powerful enemies in a couple different nodes, and you cannot get through them because of this without sacking the room. And given the fact that this requires G20, we just don't have enough tunes to sack everything. So we're going to do the run without that on to see if we can get through and finish it. I did a trial run earlier with this on, could not make it through it. Absolutely could not get through it because I did not have enough excess teams to be able to sack in order to progress through it. Would probably need, I don't know, I'm going to say 45 or 50 G20s to be able to do that. So we're going to go in like this, do some gameplay, and see how it goes. All right, let's get rocking. So we are going to start out with the big boys. We're going to grab Old Man Logan. There he is. And we are going to move him over here. And we are going to roll out. I hope you guys have been looking forward to seeing this. I've been looking forward to it. I know I had several different viewers request this video, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And if you guys are watching this and you do have Professor X, let me know how well you did on your run in here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and exhaust everyone. Now, of course, we're not going to have to worry about Thanos because Professor X eliminates his passive from going off at 50%. We're going to go ahead and go after Gore right out of the gate and get rid of him because he can clear our battlefield effects. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and get rid of Thanos as quickly as possible. All right. I've really been enjoying playing with 3 Diamond Logan. He does some pretty crazy damage. We're going to save his ultimate for sure. We don't need that right now. All right, let's go ahead and get the battlefield effect up. All right. Let's go ahead and save his special as well. Like always, Gladiator takes forever to kill. Okay, let's go ahead and use Logan's ultimate. He gains energy so fast he won't have any trouble getting that back. Okay, let's go ahead and use his basic. All right, and then the next wave's dropping in. So you see the arrow up here? That person is going to be by far the most powerful. And with that last thing selected in the beginning, it makes it nearly impossible to get through several of them. Not this one, but several of them, it makes it nearly impossible. And you have to sack them, which there'll be a couple that we may still have to do that, but we'll just have to figure that out when we get there. Okay, let's go back here and start wearing him down. All right, perfect. He's gone, so it should be pretty smooth sailing from here. Let's go ahead and go after Medusa. We're going to try to save our abilities as much as possible until the next round. We may go ahead and use this and stun Medusa. Don't want her doing anything crazy. She resisted that, though. Okay, let's go ahead and basic with Shadow King. Okay, and we've got Odin's Ultimate ready, which is good. We'll just hang on to that. All right, so first node's done. Okay. All right, now we're going to go in here into the second node. We've got Kahori, Medusa, Miss Marvel Classic, and we've really got to go after Miss Marvel Classic and Medusa and get rid of them ASAP, because my goodness, Miss Marvel Classic will stay around forever. All right. So we're going to throw Omega Red in here. A little bit extra damage so that we can get through them very quickly. Otherwise, Miss Marvel Classic will be around next weekend regenerating. She's worse than Gladiator now, man. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's go ahead and use Professor X's ultimate. Okay, let's go ahead and use Logan's ultimate. Let's go ahead and use his ultimate. We want to get rid of Miss Marvel Classic as fast as possible. Perfect. All right. So now let's go after Medusa. Perfect. We got ability blocks, so we're not going to have to worry about her killing anyone. She might die from bleeds. Okay, and we've got Kahori stunned, so now we can just use basics and get some of our abilities back up for the next drop. Okay, go ahead and use his basic. All right, very good. All right, and away we go. Let's go ahead and use Omega Red's ultimate. Yeah, you see how beefy he is now with that other Scourge selected. Oh my goodness. Ridiculous how beefy he was. Okay. Let's go ahead and get over here and try to stun. Yep, perfect. Got the stun on Ghost Rider. And it should be pretty smooth sailing from here. Okay, let's go ahead and basic. Save our abilities. All right. Node 2 is down. So let's jump into the third node and see what we are up against here. All right. So this is... All right. This one isn't too bad. We're going to go ahead and keep the same squad for this one. Okay, scratch that. It looks like we are going to need to bring in Mephisto to get exhausted out there. So, let's swap out Omega Red and grab Mephisto and try that again. Yeah, that didn't work at all. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, we got through the beatdown, so let's go ahead and get rolling now. Okay. We definitely want to get rid of the Kangs as fast as possible. Okay. He is blinded, so we're going to jump over on the other one. All right, let's go ahead and get some claws out. Okay, let's get rid of Kang as soon as possible. We do not need him doing something crazy. All right. Of course, now we're just going to stick to basics so we can get our abilities back up as far as possible for the next wave drops. Okay. We're going to go ahead and try to stun Phoenix. Didn't work. Let's go ahead and stick with basics. I don't think we should run into any issues here. We don't have to worry about Val bringing anyone back with Mephisto on the board. So obviously Logan gets energy back extremely fast, so we'll go ahead and use his ultimate. Everyone else, we're going to stay on basics until we finish this node. Now, the next node that's going to be coming up is one that I had to sack in my first run because I absolutely, with all of the Scourges selected, could not get through that without doing a sack first. I'm very interested to see with that last Scourge turned off if we'll be able to get through it without sacking. Okay, let's go head over here and hit little Loki. All right. So that node is clear. Now this next one has the main boss is Green Goblin, and he already has 5.1 million. With 500% extra health, it was absurd trying to get through this. Let's see if we can get through it now that it's just going to be normal, but I don't know if we'll be able to get through it or not. We may still have to do a sack, but we'll get in here real quick and find out. Main thing, we want to try to have Shadow King and Professor X's ultimates ready. All right, so we've got Professor X's ready. We've got Mephisto's ready. And we have Shadow King's ready. So that is good. Now, this is that one that we were talking about with... They have negative 99% health, but 2,000% damage. So you got to be careful with them. Okay, so Green Goblin will absolutely destroy you if we do not kill him first. So let's get in here and go crazy and see if we can get rid of him. Okay. Let's go ahead and use Odin's ultimate. Alright, let's use Shadow King's special. Alright, let's use Logan's special. Get the stun. Perfect. Once we got trauma on him, we could stun him. So we should be good to go now. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of Lizard. All right. That went way smoother than it did the first time. Now, my goal is to get through this with all of the Scourges selected, and my hope is that whenever we get the payout from the bio gear, that I'll be able to bring up 3 or 4 more characters, which may give me enough to be able to go through it with all the Scourges selected and be able to get through it, because I think I needed like 2 more characters to be able to get the last sack that I needed to be able to get through the event totally, and I just did not have them. So hopefully I'll be able to do that before this event ends, because I'd certainly like to finish it at max level as well. All right, so let's jump in here to the next node. And I don't know if I said it already, guys, but if I didn't, I really appreciate you guys joining me. I know this isn't going to be a short video, so if any of you guys stick with me through all this gameplay, I definitely appreciate it and hope you guys enjoy it and had a good time hanging out. All right, so of course it seems like every other node restricts Mephisto. So we went ahead and brought in Havoc. All right, so let's go over here with Professor X. All right. Let's get going with Logan. Get those claws out. Might as well. He just had a look in his eye like he was really wanting to stab somebody, so let's get on with it. All right, let's go ahead and use Shadow King's ultimate. Hopefully that will get rid of Spider Slayer. Well, we're close. All right, we're going to go ahead and use Havoc's special. That should hit everyone. All right. And that is whittling everyone down, so we're getting pretty close here to getting to the second wave. All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get rolling with Logan. It's weird saying Thanos without Endgame in front of it. All right, let's go ahead and use Cyclops' ultimate. Okay, let's get rid of Thanos as quickly as possible. And maybe the ultimate will get him really close. Get in there, Logan. All right. Let's get going. All right, there he goes. All right, now let's deal with him. And yeah, hang on, Logan. Okay, they're getting health back up, which is fantastic. And we are saving all of our abilities for the next round. Perfect. All right, so we're going to be moving on to the next node, and we'll see how it goes. All right. Let's go ahead and get Mephisto back in here. And this is one that I had to sack on last time as well. We'll see how it goes. We may end up having to back out and bring a sack team in, but we'll jump in here and find out. Okay. We just have to get Odin going here pretty soon, and then he'll just start clearing all of these waves. Let's get this one going over here, because they do have 2,000% damage. So you want to get rid of them and do not want them to hit any of your tunes, because they will take them out. All right, let's go ahead and get Odin going. Should have one more round of them. Okay. That'll get rid of another one. Let's see. That one's as good as any of them. Okay. We got to get rid of these guys over here. And let's go over here. All right. I think this is the last wave. All right, there we go. Now let's go ahead and use Professor X's ultimate. Professor X is such a boss. Oh my goodness. All right. That was a lot different. There's a huge difference between 500% more health. I do really want to beat it with that on there, but for the sake of this video, I wanted to take it off there so that you guys could actually get an opportunity, hopefully, to see the entire gameplay, because there was no way I was getting through the other way. All right, so it looks like we've got some Starjammers in here. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. Got a little bit of water left. Okay. All right, let's go over here with his special. Should ability block all three of them. Or blind all three of them. My bad. Okay. Our next priority, of course, is going to be getting rid of Havoc. Those pings are irritating. All right, get in there, Logan. Okay. Let's get after him and get rid of him. All right, Logan, you going to take him out? All right, very good. Okay, let's go after Lalandra. We don't want her doing an ultimate. Well, she is blinded, so that isn't going to affect us much, but... All right, let's go ahead and get the battlefield effect up before this second wave drops. All right. Let's go in here with his special. All right, now we got blind and ability block. Oh, I totally forgot. Her ultimate's unavoidable. Okay. Hang in there, Logan. Okay. We should be good until the next wave. Logan will build up his health here. And then we'll be going into the next wave with Cyclops and Shadow King and Mephisto's ultimate. So if it gets a little crazy, we should be good. And now, of course, we have Logan's ultimate as well. All right, let's get rid of Gladiator. Okay. Very good. Okay. I'd say let's just go after him. Let's get a swipe out there. Okay. I definitely want to get rid of Omega Red. Let's focus on him. Okay, let's go ahead and use Cyclops as ultimate, and there we go. Wipes the board. So we are good to go on that node. All right. Let's jump into the next one and see how it goes. All right, so on this one, we're going to have a Phoenix Omega Red. Going to have some Ares, Super Scroll, Vigilantes. Let's see how it goes. We're going to go ahead and bring in... Oh, where are you at, big fella? We're going to try Omega Red. Last time I went in here, I used Gladiator, but let's see how it goes with Omega Red. I'm pretty sure I ended up having to sack this room as well, but I can't remember for sure. All right. Okay. That did not work with Omega Red. So let's back out and try something else. All right. I think we might try Thanos. Why not? Let's try Thanos in there. See how this goes. All right, let's see if we can get him stunned. All right, very good. Yeah, the Omega Reds are draining all of our health. Okay, that's not fantastic. Yeah, we're probably going to have to sack this room again like we did last time. So, last time I sacked it and took out Phoenix so that she was gone when we came back in. So that's kind of what we need to do, because otherwise when you kill her and she comes back as Dark Phoenix, she's going to kill 2 or 3 of your people every time. So let's try going in with let's try going in with Liberty and Emma. Let's go ahead and swap that. All right. And let's see if we can at least get Dark Phoenix killed. Or get Phoenix killed. If she comes back as Dark Phoenix, that's fine. Because when we go back in, she'll be gone. Alright. So let's go after her. Alright, very good. So we got rid of her. And now we'll see if we can get lucky and get rid of somebody else in the meantime. But the main thing is she's gone, so we're not going to have to deal with her when we come back in. All right. Very good. So we should be able to come back in and get through that now. But let's see. Best laid plans sometimes don't work out. Alright, so let's get rid of them now. And let's jump back in here. Let's grab Odin and Logan, and I think we may bring in Hank Pym. See if he can get some slows out there for us. I keep forgetting I have Hank Pym at G20. All right. Okay. Safeguard, so we're definitely not going to be able to stun either one of them. So maybe we can get... Yeah, we got Bill stunned. Alright, let's go ahead and use his ultimate. All right. Such a nightmare. Okay. Let's see. How are we going to get through him? Let's see here. We've got to keep our big four. All right. We're going to have to try to get a speed advantage. So we're going to go in with this. If either one of the Omega Reds do their ultimate, essentially you are screwed. They're going to kill half of your characters. So we have got to figure out a way to get rid of them. Okay. Alright, come on, Blade. Okay. Here we go. All right. Now I need for them to kill this Omega Red. Okay. And then we should be good. All right. They did what they needed to do. Now we're going to bring back Omega Red. And maybe he can rain some fire down and get us through this. All right. That's perfectly fine. They did what they needed to do. And now we'll be able to come in here and get rid of the rest of this. All right. That worked out as well as I could hope. All right. All right. Let's go in here with Vigilante and see if we can just finish off this node real quick and move on to the next one. Okay, let's go ahead and get going here with Jean. Okay. Use her ultimate. Hopefully we can get rid of the Silver Sables. Very good. Now we're going to go ahead and use Silver Sable's ultimate. Okay, we definitely want to stun Hitmonkey. Alright, let's go over here with Daredevil. Very good. Okay, let's get rid of Ares and move on. There we go. All right. Okay. We are progressing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that this coming up node is the one that I could not get through. Yes. This is the one I could not get through last time. So hopefully we will be able to get through it this time. Okay. We shall see. Alright, let's get down here and get... And... I think I'm going to bring Apocalypse this time. Alright. Because I'm going to attempt to use Apocalypse on Mephisto if necessary. That may help us get through Mephisto. Okay. Did we lock up? Let's come back into that. I feel like it was locking up, so let's jump back in and make sure that everything's cool there. Okay. Let's try this again. All right. Okay. I think we're good to go now. All right, let's go ahead and use Mephisto's ultimate. And let's go ahead and use his ultimate. I do not want this to be an endless cycle of Sentinels spawning. So we need to get through this sooner than later. And we need to get rid of Nimrod before he goes. Alright, very good. Okay, let's go ahead and get the battlefield effect up. Okay. She does not have immunity. Let's see if we can get her stunned. Nope. But we did get defense down, which is fantastic. Hopefully that will get rid of her sooner. Yeah, another character I think would make this event way smoother would be Null, and I'm missing one piece to have Null at Gear 20. So I'm definitely going to bring him in and test him out once I get him up to Gear 20, which will probably be in the next couple days. But I think he would definitely make a big difference as well. Okay, let's go after a Mega Sentinel. We need to get rid of her. Okay. Do not revive. Okay, we're good there. Now let's do our best to get our abilities back up while wearing these guys down. All right. Okay, let's go over here. Okay. We got to go all in on Mephisto. And hopefully we can get rid of him before he gets to his ultimate. Okay. Alright, let's use Professor X's ultimate. Okay. We gotta start wearing down those death proofs. Okay, let's use every ultimate. Okay, finally. Oh my goodness. All right, very good. My gosh. We need every ultimate from 4 out of the 5 most powerful tunes in the game to get through Mephisto. All right. Awesome. Okay, now it looks like we got Astral. Definitely going to have to be paying attention to Storm so that we do not get in a position. We're going to go ahead and bring in Old Man Logan now. All right. We do not want to get in a position where Storm ends up getting her ultimate off with charges and wipes our entire team out. So we're going to have to do our absolute best to save some of our abilities for when we get that second drop for sure. All right. Yeah, let's just go ahead and delete her real quick so she can't heal anybody, because it didn't make sense to exhaust just 2 of them. All right. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get a stun. Perfect. Okay, for real? Alright, we're backing out of that. Okay, well maybe we need to stun Emma. That's what we probably need to try. Alright, let's try that again. Let's stun Emma so she doesn't end up killing Mephisto, which is absolutely absurd to say out loud, but there you go. Okay. Let's get the stun. She resisted the stun, which is not fantastic, because now somehow she's going to end up getting Mephisto killed. Okay. There's a ton of ridiculousness occurring here. Alright, we're going to go for a sack real quick, and then we're going to come in with Mephisto with all of them on the field so that we can actually exhaust them. Alright, so let's jump back in here with, and that'll work. And who else do we have extra? We're going to have to get rid of Daredevil. We can use Jean Grey, and oh, why not? Oh, Thanos. All right. We've got to get all of them on the field so that we can exhaust them with Mephisto and keep that nonsense of Emma killing everyone stuff going on. Yeah, let's get away from that. Okay. Get through her ultimate. Perfect. Get through Shadow King's ultimate. I don't know. I could have planned that any better. So I'll absolutely take that. And we will jump back in here, get Exhaust out there, and hopefully destroy them. So let's see how it goes. All right. Mephisto, Professor X. There you go, Shadow King. And let's jump down here and get Odin and Old Man Logan. All right, let's try this now. This should make a huge difference. But we'll see. Okay, what in the world? Ugh. Okay, can we get a stun on her this time? No, we cannot. Okay, can we get ability block? Okay, great. Man, at this point in time, I'll take whatever I can get. All right. Okay, maybe things will start going our way now. We've got our battlefield effect up. We've got to get some freaking health on Mephisto. Goodness sakes. Okay, well, Old Man Logan revived since Mephisto was gone. All right, guys. I don't know. We may not be able to get through this. I think Mephisto is what's keeping them from spawning. So let's go ahead and leave him out and bring in Apocalypse. And we're going to try this, and if this doesn't work, we're probably going to call it a night on the video because it's getting pretty late. And then we'll probably pick it up tomorrow and see if we can have any more luck with it. Yeah, that's as far as we're going, guys. So we did not make it past that. No, we didn't make it this far before. It was the node before that. So, all right. So that is as far as we got today. For any of you guys who haven't seen it yet, the ranking, if you get top 500, you're going to get the Dark Xavier skin. So that's cool. Let's see where we're at right now. We have 5.4. And that puts us in 12th. So I'd say we're probably going to finish in the top 500. Heck, I don't know if 500 people have enough Gear 20 to even come into this. But that's going to do it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to play around with it some more. It looks like this event's 10 days. We're going to get all the way through this event. I'm going to be bringing up more characters to Gear 20. And we're absolutely going to figure out how to get through this thing. So when that occurs, I will record the rest of the nodes that we did not finish in this one. But until then, guys, tomorrow is Crucible. Hope you guys are ready. Hope you're freaking excited. I'm excited. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys taking time to watch the video and have some fun. Be watching for Crucible this weekend. And guys, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this event. Let me know if you're excited about Crucible. Heck, let me know anything. It doesn't matter. Let's chat. So, if you guys enjoyed it, guys, you know the drill. Leave me a like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. And until tomorrow, stay positive and enjoy the game, guys. Have an awesome evening.